When you're trying to repair your relationship or even save your marriage, when you're really going through a hard time, you're out there looking for every possible tool and technique. And then you stumble across love languages and you try implementing love languages into your relationship in hopes that by implementing love languages, you're going to be able to repair your relationship. And for some reason, even love languages are just not working. And in this video, I'm going to explain exactly why love languages aren't working, and I'm going to help you understand the new framework to implement in addition to love languages that's really going to actually help you repair and rebuild your relationship and even save your marriage if you are on the path of heading towards separation or divorce. Welcome to the channel, everyone. For those of you who don't know me yet, my name is Mindy, and I work with men in long-term relationships and marriages to empower them with the right skills, knowledge, and mindset to transform their love communication style to ultimately repair and rebuild their relationship. So if you're in a situation right now where you're really trying to repair your relationship, click the subscribe button so you can be notified every time I do a new video on this topic. I release a new video every Sunday afternoon. So really, why are love languages not working for you? What are you doing wrong? And really, it's nothing that you are doing wrong. What it is love languages. They're fantastic, and they're a great starting point. But the thing about love languages is they are very one-dimensional. They all presume that we really show love and receive love in the exact same way. So they're one-dimensional in the fact that if you think, oh, my love language is time, you just have to spend time with your partner, and that's all it is. And it's very surface level. And what I have discovered is that love communication, such as love languages, it's not just a surface level, one-dimensional source of how we express love. And that's why my husband and I actually discovered the love lingo and love jargon framework. And what love lingo and love jargon is it's basically a breakdown stemming from love language, but it supersedes love language in the fact that it breaks love language down into more dimensions, like us human beings are. We're very multidimensional beings. And it specifically takes love language and it turns it into two separate entities. Love lingo, which is the way that we actually receive love. It's how our love tank is filled, is through love lingo. But love jargon is the way you express love or how you show love to your partner. And the thing that love language has never, ever touched on is the fact that all of us have a very unique way in how we show someone love. So that's why I call it love lingo and love jargon, because it's actually a dialect of love language. So I want you to think of your love communication the same as you would think of English, Japanese, Chinese, German, Dutch, Spanish. Think of love language in general as a specific language that everybody's communicating through. But the difference is, instead of it's as speech communication to go through everyday life, it's love language to communicate our heart and our soul and our emotion to the person that we love. So think of it that way. Now this is where we break it down into love lingo and love jargon. And I'm going to give you an example through a story. About 20 years ago, when I was working in Florida, I was working in the tourist industry. And I was helping this family, and there was this little boy. And obviously, if you've ever been to Orlando, Florida, you know it's really, really hot. And so the little boy was there, and I asked the little boy if he'd like a pop. And when I asked the little boy if he wanted a pop, he immediately took a couple steps backwards and acted like I was going to hit him. And I immediately panicked. I'm like, oh my God, are you okay? What did I say? I had no idea what I said to this little boy that made him react that way. And the parents, they just laughed and they said, oh, that's what we call, if he gets a spanking, we call it a pop. Do you want a pop? We do a little pop on the rear end. Now, again, this was back in early 2000s when that was more acceptable. So because I'm from Chicago, I call it pop. So when I was communicating to this little boy, asking him if he wanted something to drink, because I used the term pop, he immediately, his whole demeanor changed, and he did not understand what I was asking. Even though my intentions were clear and they were heartfelt and I wanted to make sure he wasn't thirsty, he didn't understand because he didn't understand the terminology or the dialect, the Chicago dialect of saying pop. He just didn't understand that. And I'm giving you guys this as an example because it's literally the same thing when it comes to love language and love lingo and love jargon. The reason you have to break it down into love lingo and love jargon is because love language is just too one-dimensional and it doesn't talk about the different dialects. Just like the dialect of me communicating pop to this little boy who didn't understand, it's the same way. If your love jargon is communicating love to your partner in a way that they don't understand. So for an example, let's say your partner's love lingo tank is filled up through acts of kindness, but you come home and you love to come home and wrap them in a hug. And they're thinking, get off me, I need some help around the house. But in your mind, you just got upset because you're showing them love. That's what's natural to you. It's just as natural for you to come home and give them a hug as it was for me to tell that little boy, hey, do you want a pop? But it's not resonating with your partner because they don't receive love that way. Just like it wasn't resonating with that little boy because he didn't understand the dialect. And that's why understanding how you specifically show love and how your partner specifically receives love is essential to repairing and rebuilding your relationship. And that's why when you're trying to utilize love languages, it's not working because you're not understanding that if you're showing love naturally to your partner, that they are shunning it away. Because really, what's the opposite of love? It's hate. And if you're not aware of the dialect, and if your partner isn't aware of, hey, you're offering love by giving me a hug when I need this help, they're perceiving it as, he's just trying to give me a hug to calm me down, and I really need help with these dishes, and he's not helping me out. I've got all these kids running around, and he's just trying to shrug me off by giving me a hug. See, that's what starts to happen in the human brain, is when we're not filled up in the way that we need to be filled up, we start making excuses and we start looking at our partner in a bad light, and we start thinking, oh, well, he's doing this or she's doing this because she doesn't really want to help me with this. And that's just not the case. What the reality is all of us have a natural way of showing love. And some of the happiest couples out there, they aren't the couples who align religiously or politically. They're the couples who are literally matched in their love communication style. So when I talk about transforming your love communication style to repair and rebuild your relationship, it's really helping you understand, hey, look, you're doing things naturally all the time that are just not resonating with your partner. And what we have to do is we have to help you understand what's natural to you and how to shift it to show your partner love in the way that they naturally need to receive it. And once you can get to a point where you're offering them love the way they need to be filled up, they're going to start to be able to understand those other ways that you show love, that you are actually still showing them love. Because a lot of times, like I said, we're so depleted in our love tank that when our partner's showing us love in the way that's natural to us, we're not thinking about it that way. We're just so frustrated that we are not being fulfilled in the way we need to be fulfilled. And that looks different depending on what your love lingo is. If it's acts of kindness, if it's affectionate contact, if it's presence or time or words of encouragement and praise, whatever it is that you need or that your partner needs, if the other person is not naturally offering it to you, you're not being filled up enough. And that's the other thing that love languages never, ever talk about. They never talk about how much you actually have to fill the other person up. You have to really put in the effort and make it a priority to make sure that you're filling the love lingo tank every single day. And not just a little bit, a lot. So if you're really trying to repair your relationship right now, what I always recommend doing is start by taking the love lingo quiz. Figure out how exactly it is that you receive love. And then if you're on speaking terms with your partner, if you're not totally broken up, separated, doing no contact, headed for divorce, if you're not there yet, send them the love lingo quiz and ask them to take the love lingo quiz and ask them to take a screenshot of their top 3 results. Because what you want is you want to at least hit 75% of their love lingo tank every single day. And you guys are thinking, what, 75%? Oh my God, that's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. Relationships take effort. They take effort. And if you're not going to put in the effort and you're not going to put in what's required to keep your partner happy, first of all, why are they going to do it back for you? And second of all, why are you even in a relationship? Because relationships are not a given. We have to work hard every single day and put in the effort and prioritize our partner if we want to have a happy relationship. My husband and I make sure every single day that we are filling each other's tank. And it's not easy. Sometimes he's gone doing handyman work 12, 14-hour days. And he comes home and he's exhausted. And the first thing he asks me when he comes home, what can I help you with? Every single day, because he knows that's one of the top 3 ways I receive love. The top way is time. And then I go back and forth between presence and acts of kindness. It depends. And that's another thing that I talk about in other videos. I do talk about how our love lingos shift based on where we are in life circumstances. So I'll definitely link that video next to watch so you guys can watch all about how love lingo changes based on hormones and based on life circumstances, so you can really get a better idea of how to implement love lingo correctly when you're showing your love jargon. But really, that's the first thing my husband does. He asks me, what can I help you with? And then no matter how tired he is, he puts his phone down and he comes and he sits next to me and he asks me how my day was. How was your day? And we talk. And we talk for 10, 15, 20 minutes uninterrupted, because he knows that I need meaningful time, that I need time of him and I just talking. And then I do the same for him. I tell him how wonderful it was that he worked 14 hours, and I thank him, and I tell him how amazing he is and how lucky the customers are, because he needs his words of encouragement and praise. And that takes effort. It's very easy for him to just come home, sit in front of the TV, and we make him dinner and we just go our own ways. It takes a lot more effort to put in the time and to prioritize each other, especially after a long day. But I can tell you guys, if you do this, you're going to have a really great relationship and you're going to start enjoying those moments. It's not going to feel like work. In the beginning, yes, it's going to feel like work because you're not used to doing it. It was really hard for me to alter my love communication style, to learn that I needed to say as many nice words as I needed to say to fill my husband's love tank. But once I got it down, now it's second nature to me. Now my love jargon is second nature to fill his tank. And that's what I help you guys with. And that's why I say the first thing you're going to want to do is you want to take that love lingo quiz and you want to send it to your partner. And you might be asking, okay, but what do I do if I'm not on talking terms with my partner? That's not going to go well. If that's the case, you're going to want to get on my wait list for my Love Communication Reset program. Because in this program, I go top to bottom on what to do if you're no contact, what to do if you're in a termination breakup style. And if you guys don't know about the breakup styles, I'll also link a video to that as well that you guys can watch so you can kind of get an idea of where you might be if you are headed for a breakup and you're not just trying to repair a struggling relationship right now, but if you're actually in a breakup, you can watch those videos that talk all about the different breakup styles. But basically, if you're in a breakup, you're going to want to get into my Love Communication Reset program, because we're going to talk no matter what breakup style you're in. I'm going to give you the tools and techniques that you need to do in order to repair that relationship from the ground up. Leave me a comment, guys, and let me know if you are looking for more help in repairing your relationship and you want to get on the wait list for the Love Communication Reset program. Type Love Communication Reset and I will get you guys on the wait list for that. I hope this video was helpful, guys. If it was, please go ahead, hit the like button, and definitely subscribe for more videos like it. As always, let's focus on staying happy, staying healthy, and staying in love.